can't believe I got this picture on my fucking cell phone camera.
That's beautiful.
I've always said a good photographer should be able to make something beautiful on like a phone camera.
For sure. I mean, like, a camera is just a camera. All the artistic stuff of a photo. I mean, like, there's editing and apertures and exposure and shit, but like most of the artistic stuff is subject matter and framing and meaning and, like, you know, you just take pictures of the shit that means the most to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Makeup, babies, Barnabas.
What babies do I take pictures of?
Liam's a baby.
Liam is 5.
If there was a baby around, you would take pictures of the baby 100%.
That's because
of the time.
people never take enough pictures of babies. There's like 4 pictures of me as a baby.
There's like 4 babies in the world, I think.
I think you're right. And one of them is a really big baby.
Do you know which one?
Only we know who is the really big baby. Really big baby.
Foip. Zorf. Flange. MILF.
MILF.
Dink. Those are some words.
That's like a good vocal warm-up. MILF. MILF. MILF.
While we're waiting, we should think of the stupidest vocal warm-ups we can. Ass.
Titty.
Ass.
Titty.
Ass.
Titty.
Okay.
Okay, I'll stop moving around. I'm just a fidgety cutie. So we watched The Fugitive. Wait,
Fugitive?
no, I meant Face Off.
We didn't.
So we watched Face Off.
Yeah. With John Travolta and Jack Black.
Yeah.
Jack Black. They should make a Face Off remake with Seth Rogen and Jack Black.
That sounds like an awful idea.
You don't even know what Face Off is about because you didn't actually watch it.
Okay,
You
so
lying
there's
cunt.
an ex-con and an FBI agent, and they're facing off, and there's probably guns involved, and probably crimes.
All right. Phone on airplane mode.
Shit, I'm not that committed.
I am because it fucks it. Like you get interference with audio equipment and phones. I mean, you don't have to, but yours also isn't right next to the interfaces now, is it? It's only when you receive and send stuff.
Oh, well, I guess I'll send something.
I mean, I doubt it'll actually pick up, but you know the sound that sound.
No, yeah. It blew my mind when I found out that's what that was.
Yeah, when it's like your message is actually just sending.
Or like when you get a text and it's like your phone's like next to a speaker.
Yeah.
And the speaker starts freaking out and you think it's just for no reason, but it turns out this entire time there was a reason.
Do you think at any point we should like bring up the topic of today's podcast, or should we just circle the drain on it until we eventually get there?
I think we're both just like so tired right now.
I think that's okay. I think that's a good headspace for a cast.
Okay.
I went to the dentist recently and got a tooth pulled out.
It sucked.
It was really, really bad. I mean, it wasn't actually really bad. The tooth was really bad because it was completely like rotted away on top. Like it was gone. It has been dead for a few years actually because I'm very, very anxious and skittish about the dentist. And like, we went there and like he fucking was just like making the weirdest banter, you know?
Well, so your mom told him that you're kind of nervous at the doctors and around dentists and stuff. Mostly because of, like, just dental work, not necessarily the dentist themselves, right?
Yeah, no, it's just because I've had bad experiences in most medical situations, just because of just bad luck and low going to a lot of cheap places, too. It doesn't help.
Yeah, definitely your mom.
Oh, yeah, she loves the cheap places.
So
Shout
anyway,
out to Mom. This
dentist just kind of had a weird chip on his shoulder about it. He took it really personal. He was very apprehensive the whole time. Very, I don't say patronizing, but he was definitely just like, okay, now it's gonna be okay.
I was sitting there and I was obviously pretty upset because it had been a long day. And I was sitting there in the bed and you were holding my hand and like he comes in and he's like, he's not very happy to see me, huh? And I'm like, stop making this about you, dude. You know?
Yeah, it was
like,
just kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I tried to kind of distract him though, do most of the talking, just because that's like the worst when the dentist is trying to small talk with you and you're just like, get me out of here.
I appreciated that you like handled his banter for me.
Yeah.
It was nice. I mean, the actual procedure was like fine, basically.
Yeah, it took like 2 minutes.
It took like 2 minutes, and they got the thing out of there, and it was disgusting. The worst part was when they were. I mean, I can't be entirely 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he used a drill at one point, right?
Well, I can actually describe what happened.
Can you please? That'd actually be great.
Yeah.
I was experiencing it and pretending to listen to Green Day in my head-o-vision to get past of all the horrible shit happening in my mouth.
So what happened was the doctor came in and gave you a few Novocaine shots. 17
Novocaine shots.
Okay, it was okay.
Directly to the jaw and the penis.
He gave you 2.
Yeah.
And then we were just kind of like, well, still nervous, so he gave you a third one.
Okay. The reason I was still nervous was because it felt to me like he'd completely got the wrong place. Like It felt like he numbed. I'm pointing down to my teeth on a podcast. I feel like he pointed back, like, you know, or that he numbed back by my molars when the tooth in question is way closer to the front. And like,
it's I was like the one right past the canine.
I was like, dude, and I wasn't even like asking for another shot. I was just questioning if that's what was supposed to be happening. He was just like, let's just do another shot. You know?
Yeah, so he came back 10 minutes later because it needs time to, you know, do whatever.
To Novocaine.
And then he gave you another Novocaine.
That was so, like, I was so numb.
Yeah, well, and I also asked him to put topical, it's like a numbing cream, topical on your lips so you couldn't feel him in your mouth. That didn't do anything. But that didn't really do anything.
It just didn't.
The doctor was just like, that's pointless, and I said, okay. And then the tech, like, did it anyway, and I was like, okay, that, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he kind of like wasted no time and took no prisoners about it. He just went at it. And you know, since this tooth was decayed and stuff, it wasn't really super set in there a lot. So he tugged at it a little bit, and he basically was just like, I can't get to it. So he took out a drill without telling anybody and turned it on behind your head, like a foot away from your ear.
That I wanted to scream at him in that moment.
Yeah, like, and he kind of apologized.
He at no point did he ever describe this procedure to me. Like, and that's a thing you're really supposed to do with someone is talk them through what you're going to be doing to their face. And then he just whips out of nowhere a drill and is like, I'm going to start drilling at your face, but it's also like right next to my head and I'm hearing it. And you know how bad dentist drills are. Like, it's the worst.
Was so loud.
It was so loud and right in my ear, and it really hurt.
Probably 40 or 50 decibels. Like, it was really loud.
It was a very loud, high-pitched, shrill noise directly in my ear. It was like being at that Muse concert all over again.
I could hear what he said because he was facing towards me. He just said, I can't quite get a grip on it, so I'm going to drill a little notch into your tooth. And that's what he did. He drilled a little notch into your tooth, and then he just took it out.
And the taking it out part was so easy that, like, you know, I didn't even realize until it was done. And it was so funny because, like, we kept expecting the day to take a lot longer because whatever. But honestly, most of the time was sitting waiting around for
the doctor to show up.
Yeah, for him to stop golfing or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was a pretty painless experience. But the actual worst part was the whole like coming down from the Novocaine, not being able to eat anything, and my mouth just bleeding profusely with a piece of gauze stuck in it,
which is all normal, actually.
Oh yeah, that's totally typical dental shit. But it sucked.
Afterwards, they were just like, okay, just keep this gauze in your mouth. Here's some extra gauze for like 3 or 4 hours. Bye. And we were like, oh, bye.
Yeah, they just
very unceremonious. They just ripped the tooth out and kicked us out.
Yeah, I would have kept it, but it was kind of gross looking, and it was pretty.
It was like just the root.
It was pretty rotten. I mean, just the root looks cool. It makes it look like a shark tooth a bit, you know. But like it goes the other way into your body.
Mm-hmm. You should probably tell them that you weren't just like really gross dental hygiene. Like, it's just like something happened to your tooth, right?
Yeah, I don't actually really know what caused it. I bet it was probably just like a cavity got out of control or something, but something happened with like the nerve of that tooth and like which caused it to die, like and start decaying in my mouth like a tooth would if it was like rotted, you know, like you know, in someone's head, like in a skull or whatever. But like
you brush your teeth every day. Like, it's not like
I brush my teeth every
gross.
day. I love brushing my teeth. I like flossing as long as I have picks. And I occasionally used mouthwash, but like I have pretty good dental hygiene. Just for whatever reason, that tooth decided it was going to give up, and it was like a couple of years ago at this point that it happened. You know?
Yeah. Well, and your parents have all of the insurance information, so it's really hard for us to even make you appointments and stuff, just because
Exactly.
it involves, a
It
lot
involves
of
going through a lot of
coordination.
people and going in coordination. And I'm just like honestly glad I found a dentist office I can trust. Like I had to get this procedure done, like I said, a couple years ago. And like when I went in, the people were like, they were just clearly completely unhinged and insane. Like they wanted to do all of this stuff. They wanted to sign us up for all of these things. And they like physically barricaded the door at one point to like, not barricaded, but like they were standing like flanking the door, like to like getting ready to push me, you know?
Was that at Bright Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that company sucks.
Yeah.
That's like a chain.
Yeah. Bright Now. Shout out to Bright Now.
Yeah, but what happened?
Sponsor for this podcast, Bright Now.
No. What happened at Bright Now was like they were just like, oh yeah, your teeth are fucked up, so we want to do this special cleaning, and then we'll talk about the tooth. But the special cleaning was really painful, and you found out later that they were supposed to actually give you painkillers, right?
That was the thing, is like they were like, and I should tell this to my tech the next time I go back there, but like at Bright Now, they like they were supposed to give me some, like put topical on my gums to numb it before they clean, but they said there were no, quote, they were no options, you know?
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, well, I'd like to leave. And they were like, well, we don't know if that's okay. And then her assistant shuffled in front of the door, you know?
Well, and you were like bleeding from the gums, which is normal, but you were like really, like blood was flying.
Yeah.
In the air. And like they did a really horrible job. And then that
it hurt for like a month. Like it was so bad. Like that whole, because they only cleaned the top quarter of my mouth. And it like still hurt like a week after.
Yeah.
And like cleaning's not supposed to hurt for that long. Cleaning's supposed to stop hurting like the same day, you know?
And they wouldn't even talk about your tooth until they did that cleaning too.
Yeah, they were just stubborn, bureaucratic. The only like positive ish thing was the receptionist was really nice. If I remember correctly, he was like a bald guy and he asked me about music or something, and he was kind of nice, and it was kind of funny, like in a dadly sort of way, you know?
I think that was the dentist.
No, I'm pretty sure that was because he was sitting at the desk in the front making appointments. So.
Oh yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was when you got your tooth pulled recently the other day. I kind of talked to the dentist while they were doing the procedure just to keep him entertained, and he was like talking to me because I'd mentioned that I wanted to go shopping afterwards.
Oh my
God. And he was like, what are you shopping for? And I was like, clothes. And he was like, what kind of clothes? And I was like, comfy clothes. And he had already like made fun of me for wearing my work uniform because, like I was wearing my work uniform that day.
Yeah, they're nice t-shirts.
So I was like, yeah, they're just like normal t-shirts.
They're just like brightly colored t-shirts with different sayings on them.
With like a logo on it. Yeah. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I just want to get some comfy clothes, things I can wear that when I'm not working, ha 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 ha. And then he started talking to me about this like really expensive clothing brand that was really comfortable and really nice, but like real clothes, not just like sweats and t-shirts. And I was like,
that's not what I meant.
And I was like, I told him what I did. Like he knows how much money I make, and he's a dentist. And it was just like this fucking rich guy just flexing on me while he was pulling my significant other's tooth. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I was like, nice job, Flexo.
I don't like him that much.
I don't like him
overall.
Either.
He's better than the last few dentists I've seen, because I also had a guy who did a checkup on me and filled some cavities before the tooth broke. In fact, he was the one who pointed out that it was rotten to me. But I had a different guy, and he was nice, but he was boring as hell. And he also did the thing where he talked to you, and he was like, that one they let me listen to, like they had music, like they had a pair of wireless headphones in the place and just played Spotify, which was pretty wild. I listened to Future of the Left while getting my teeth drilled and filled.
Drilled and filled.
Drilled and filled.
If you know what I mean.
If you catch my cold.
Okay, I have to go to bed.
Okay, bye.
No, wait.
Like, comment, and subscribe? Is that what you wanted me to do? Am I selling out now?
No, I'm just... We
have 16 minutes is good. 17 minutes
I
is
just got really sleepy.
Okay, let's go to bed.
Okay.
This is how the podcast ends. Shh, shh, shh. It's time for good night. It's time for sleep.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.